Welcome to 10 minutes of commercial-free current events. I'm Carl Azus, and this is CNN Student News. Hope your Tuesday's going well. Today's show starts with a dramatic rescue out of Iraq. ISIS, or Islamic State, is the name of a brutal terrorist group that's fighting for control of Iraq. It's been murdering civilians who don't practice ISIS's strict interpretation of Islam. That includes the Yazidis, a group whose religion is older than Islam. ISIS trapped tens of thousands of Yazidis on Mount Sinjar in northwestern Iraq. Conditions are so bad for these civilians that about 20,000 of them fled to Syria, a country currently at civil war. A CNN reporter was aboard a helicopter delivering supplies, diapers, food, shoes. When the aircraft landed, a desperate group of people pushed children, the injured, the elderly, about 20 in all, aboard the chopper for rescue. Despite being shot at by ISIS fighters on these flights, Iraqi forces have been able to rescue about 100 to 150 people a day like this. But dozens of Yazidis have died on this mountain. They're facing hunger, thirst, and extreme temperatures. We mentioned yesterday that so much had happened over the summer. Another nation in conflict is Ukraine. On one side, there's the relatively new Ukrainian government. Its president was elected in May, a couple months after Ukraine's previous leader was forced out. The new government has allied itself and signed a trade deal with the European Union. It also has the support of the United States. On the other side, separatists who want Ukraine to have closer ties with Russia. They're fighting for control of areas in eastern Ukraine, and the U.S. accuses Russia of helping these rebels. It has increased sanctions, economic punishments on Russia for its alleged role in Ukraine. As the fighting between Ukrainian forces and separatists flared over the summer, a Malaysia Airlines plane, flight MH17, was apparently shot down as it flew over eastern Ukraine. All 298 people aboard were killed.
I would like to welcome our viewers here in the United States and around the world. There is breaking news at this moment.
Obviously, the world is watching reports of a downed passenger jet near the Russia-Ukraine border.
There's bodies splayed out through the fields. Everything rained down in bits and pieces.
Malaysia is unable to verify the cause of this tragedy.
The U.S. has now concluded the plane was shot down, a senior U.S. official tells CNN.
Unknown to the world, pro-Russian rebels secretly moved a heavy arsenal of weapons into place days ago. A surface-to-air missile system had been turned on in a separatist-controlled area in eastern Ukraine.
We cannot rule out technical assistance from Russian personnel in operating the systems.
No one should have the right to use this tragedy to achieve selfish political objectives.
Vladimir Putin is literally getting away with murder.
This is the final resting place of MH17. It literally crash landed in the middle of a battlefield.
Unfortunately, the Russian-backed separatists who control the area continue to block the investigation.
Today we have reports of drunken separatists piling the remains of people into trucks.
We're talking about a wide range of investigators and experts who are on the scene. And we need the thugs who are toting guns, who are backed by the Russians, to give them the access they need to do their job.
Next story today takes us to Ferguson, Missouri. It's a town with a population of about 21,000 people. And on Sunday night, the mayor said Ferguson lost control. It started when a police officer shot and killed an 18-year-old African-American man on Saturday. One official said Michael Brown was accused of stealing something from a store. Witnesses to the shooting say Brown was unarmed, had his hands up, and appeared to be surrendering to police when he was shot. but police say Brown assaulted the officer, then tried to get the officer's gun before the shooting. What started as a vigil for Brown on Sunday turned into chaos. Some of the protesters smashed windows, looted stores, set a convenience store on fire. The town's mayor called for calm as the FBI opened an investigation into the shooting. It's time for the CNN Student News Roll Call. Let's see who's watching today. In California, we've got the Mustangs of Pioneer High School leading off our roll. You'll find them in San Jose. In Arizona, beep, beep, it's the Roadrunners of Holbrook High School. They're online in Holbrook. And in Wabash, Indiana, it's nighttime. The Knights of Southwood Junior Senior High School round out today's roll. You can request a mention for your school on our website, cnnstudentnews.com. Should college athletes be paid? The National Collegiate Athletic Association oversees and makes the rules for most college sports in the U.S. And until now, NCAA rules said players could not be paid salaries, though many do get scholarships that can help with the cost of education. Times they are a-changin' though. A federal judge has ruled that top-tier athletes should be allowed to make money, but only in college basketball and football, and only if the universities they play for make money by using the athletes' names or pictures.
I love the fact that student athletes are standing up for themselves.
The landmark case started with Ed O'Bannon, a former UCLA basketball player who sued after he was surprised to see himself in a video game.
I just said to myself, you know, something's got to change. Why wasn't I asked? You know, they used my face, they used my likeness.
They used his likeness, but they didn't pay him for it. Now the NCAA can no longer ban universities from paying players for the rights to their images. Starting in 2016, universities will be allowed to pay players up to $5,000 a year for use of their image. The money will be held in a trust fund until they leave the school.
Everybody, basically everybody made money, except the kid who gave them the opportunity to make the money on what he did.
Sonny Vaccaro is the former Nike executive who basically invented athlete endorsements. He's also the driving force behind the O'Bannon lawsuit.
There's no television sports, there's no marketing of T-shirts and Gatorades and anything else without the athlete.
The NCAA has argued that this will ruin college sports, but the judge rejected that argument, saying that fans come for tradition, not for amateurism.
I wanted to stand up and say, no, this isn't right. And so far, mission accomplished.
Now, the NCAA has promised they will appeal, but this really wasn't a complete loss for them. When the judge capped the amount at $5,000 per athlete per year, well, that guarantees that multi-million-dollar contracts will stay out of the hands of college athletes. Sarah Ganem, CNN, New York.
Time for the shout out. Which of these was an Olympic sport in 1912? If you think you know the answer, don't be shy, shout it out. Was it table tennis, trampoline, volleyball, or tug of war? You've got 3 seconds. Go. In 1912, Sweden, the country that also hosted those Olympics, roped in the tug of war gold medal. That's your answer, and that's your shout out.
No longer an Olympic sport, but these folks sure put in an Olympic effort. All boat traffic on the Mississippi River stops in early August for the Great River Tug Fest. Why? So teams from Illinois and Iowa can grab hold of a 2,700-foot rope and try to drag competitors they can't even see well toward the river. Including this year's event, Illinois leads the overall tug tally with 17 wins to Iowa's 11. The two teams could actually see each other. Things could get tugly. They could get knotted up, but it's just a friendly rivalry. After all, a river runs through it. Some of you will think our puns are kind of a drag, but they really help pull our show together. I'm Carl Azuz for CNN Student News, and we hope to see you again tomorrow.